Hi there, Rob here, and today I'm going to do a movie review for Gran Torino, directed by Clint Eastwood.
Movie Review by Rob.
Gran Torino is directed by Clint Eastwood, who many of you know has directed a lot of films recently. And in researching it, I didn't know that Clint Eastwood directed a lot of films a long time ago too. It's just more so recently that people are realizing that perhaps he's a better director than he is an actor, which is saying a lot. He directed Unforgiven, he's directed $1 Million Baby, this past year he directed The Changeling with Angelina Jolie, and then of course now he directed the self-starring role in Gran Torino. Now this film, I believe he self-financed, he produced it. He didn't write it. He was written by Nick Schenk, I believe is the name. But it's basically the story of a disgruntled Korean War veteran named Walt Kowalski, I believe. And he is the last American, so to speak, living in this ghetto neighborhood, now inhabited by Hmong. I think it's Hmong, Korean people. Now, basically, it's a story about how this disgruntled guy, at first goes through in the beginning he loses his wife, he's on his own now, and he's in this environment that is surrounded by people that he, kind of despises because of the effects of the Korean War. And this character has a lot of pain and a lot of secrets in him that he kind of like haunts him. So from there we go to he becomes friends with the neighbors by sticking up for a young boy who is constantly being hounded by a ghetto gang, and he kind of gets in the middle of it. So this is a story of change. I don't want to ruin a lot of it, but it's a story of change where the character that Clint Eastwood plays goes through, from this disgruntled, very hard to reach character to someone who goes out of his way for these people that he hardly knows. In addition to Clint Eastwood being in it, there's B. Vang, who plays the young boy Tao that he befriends, and there's also Anne Hader, who plays Sue, which is Tao's sister, another person. She's basically the character that gets him into the family to get to know everybody. This movie runs 116 minutes long. It doesn't feel very long. I mean, pacing's a big thing with me, but I mean there are points in this film where it drags a little bit, and that leads me to one of my biggest problems with the film was some of the dialogue. The relationships felt very forced. The character Clint Eastwood plays, a lot of people might not like to enjoy watching him on the screen. He's very mean, very, like I said, many people actually might not enjoy watching the character that Clint Eastwood plays on the screen. He's very mean. He says racial slurs constantly, and I mean constantly. He attacks people just based on who they are, not just the Koreans, but also black people, and even I believe Italians and stuff. So this character's not exactly a friendly character that you can sympathize with. I mean, they try to build that up later in the film, but it's kind of hard since the beginning of the film he is who he is. And I'm glad that he stays who he is for the most part. But the relationship between the daughter Sue of the Korean family next door to him and Clint Eastwood feels very forced. For someone who has so much built up anger and aggression towards these people, I felt like it needed to be established, either a passing of time, because another problem in the film is it feels like it happens in a very short period of time, or B, better dialogue. I mean, some of the things it seems like if I went up to a guy on the bus stop and just started talking to him, within 5 minutes we were best friends. It seems very forced. And I understand when you're probably they probably shot this film very quickly, there's not a lot to it, mostly just dialogue scenes and stuff like that. You need to come up with better ways to do it. I felt a little cheated, kind of like if you guys saw the Star Wars movies, where you're really waiting for this epic turn from Anakin into Darth Vader. You're waiting for some sort of, like, I don't know, like real brilliant manipulation. And then when you think about it, it's just the Emperor going, kill those children, just do it. And he does it. And you're like, what? So I felt a little cheated there. Good parts of the film. Some people won't like Clint Eastwood's acting. I've heard people say that they don't like his acting. He talks through his teeth, he squints his eyes. That's Clint Eastwood. And granted, a lot of people are going to say Clint Eastwood was really good in this movie just because he's Clint Eastwood. And I would say a portion of that is true about myself. I think he was good in this movie because he's Clint Eastwood. But I think that he fit the character better than a lot of people that I would have seen. And yeah, the character is very, you know, he's got that vibe that Clint Eastwood can put off now. He looks like a creepy old man, and he acts like one. So I thought he did an excellent job with this. Also, Christopher Carley, he plays the priest in it. I thought he did a very good job. And the movie in general seemed like it was about stereotypes. You know, everything was just a blatant stereotype. The stereotype of the angry war veteran, the stereotype of the Korean family next door with tons of people living in their house and eating weird food and enjoying weird customs. The priest had the stereotypical haircut, and he was like a 27-year-old young boy just out of the seminary, and he wanted to help people and comfort old women. The gangs were very stereotypical. The things they said, the things they wore, the things they did. The African Americans portrayed in it, the most stereotypical I've ever seen on screen in a while, which I think might have been too much. But I don't know if the overall goal of this film was to make everything very stereotypical. If it was, they succeeded. Other good things about the film: the lighting, outstanding. Some of the dark lit scenes, and they're just amazing. The setting, very, very well done. Production design, very well done. Like I said, this film felt like it was shot very quickly, maybe within the span of a month, I think, versus most Hollywood films have months of prep, which I'm sure it had prep, but they had months of prep and then like 2 or 3 months of shooting. I think this was done very economically. In addition to that, my overall review for this, heard nothing but good reviews, and I still think it is an excellent movie. Clint Eastwood has done it again. $1 Million Baby was an excellent movie. Unforgiven was an excellent movie. The Changeling, which a lot of people didn't see this year, was very shallow tone, very dark, but I still thought it was an excellent movie. So I'm going to give this 4 burgles. 4 out of 5 burgles. So I definitely recommend you see it. If you don't see it in theaters, see it when it comes out on DVD. Probably a buy for me. So keep movies like this coming, Clint Eastwood, and remember, I'll be watching.